A trip to New Zealand is super exciting. However, the thing that most of us dread is passing through passport control, customs and biosecurity. New Zealand has some strict biosecurity laws, making an arrival in New Zealand not as straightforward as arriving in other countries. If you're arriving at a New Zealand airport from overseas, there are a few processes that you will be required to go through before entering the country. We'll go over all of that and much more in this video.
Hey guys, we're Robin and Laura, the team behind BackpackerGuide.NZ, helping you plan an epic trip to New Zealand.
In this guide to arriving in New Zealand, we'll go over what visa you need to prepare, what to avoid bringing into New Zealand, what's the process of passenger arrival card and passing through passport control and passing through biosecurity, and stick around until the end of this video because we'll be giving you 5 airport hacks that will change the way you travel forever.
Plus, we bring out new videos about New Zealand every single day, so if you are new here, click or tap the subscribe button to get all your essential New Zealand travel tips. We even spend hours making these videos to help you plan your trip, so it would be awesome if you could help us out by liking this video too. Hey, we'll even pause the video for you so you can get the time to do that.
And with that, let's get on with today's video. The first part of making your arrival in New Zealand as smooth as possible is by getting the right visa for your intentions in New Zealand. Just visiting New Zealand on a holiday? Then you'll probably need a visitor visa. Are you under 30 years old and looking to do some working and traveling in New Zealand? Then the working holiday visa will be the best bet. Or are you enrolled in a New Zealand university? You need an appropriate student visa, and so on.
The best place to go to find out what visas are available for your country is the Immigration New Zealand website. However, we do cover a lot of information on the most popular visas in New Zealand, so check out the links to those Backpacker Guide articles in the description below.
Visa for New Zealand also have conditions that, if broken, will make your visa invalid. The most common conditions is your length of stay, but there may also be conditions on having enough money to support yourself while in New Zealand, a travel ticket departing New Zealand, or even travel insurance. These conditions are outlined for each visa on the Immigration New Zealand website. Take note of them and prepare the evidence needed, which could be bank statement, your travel insurance policy, etc. And you will show that at the passport control desk just in case you are asked for them.
The next way to ensure a smooth arrival into New Zealand is to pack right for New Zealand. That way you won't have to do any last-minute scrambling to clean your hiking shoes at the airport or risk getting something you've packed sent for biosecurity treatment. What you bring or don't bring with you into New Zealand is extremely important due to the strict biosecurity rules.
While there are some items that are prohibited from being brought into New Zealand, there are other items that must be declared so that custom officers can inspect them and decide whether they are safe to be in New Zealand. We'll talk about how to declare those items later in the video, but for now, here's what you can't pack into your luggage to New Zealand.
Certain types of food, including fruit and vegetables, fresh meat, fish or honey and bee products, hazardous material, endangered species without a permit, weapons without a permit, objectionable publications, which is basically inappropriate videos or images, and controlled drugs without evidence it is prescribed to you.
A full list of prohibited items can be found on the New Zealand Customs website, which we'll link to in the description below.
Other items you might want to bring into New Zealand could be considered as risk items by New Zealand Customs. This doesn't mean that they will automatically confiscate these items from you, but you must declare them for the customs officers to inspect the item or ask questions about them. Some of those risk items that you are likely to pack for a trip to New Zealand are equipment used with animals, plants or water, and items that have been used for outdoor or farming activities. These items must be clean in order for you to bring them into New Zealand, so clean up those items before you pack them.
For more packing advice for New Zealand, check out our New Zealand packing list and carry on packing list videos. Now let's talk about the passenger arrival card. You've packed your bag like a boss, avoiding any prohibited item and are ready to declare any restricted items. You have a visa for New Zealand and you have your passport on hand. You are on your flight.
During your flight, you will be given a passenger arrival card. This is a legal document which you must complete to hand to customs once you arrive in a New Zealand airport. The passenger arrival card is the first time where you'll declare any risk items. You'll also have to fill out some personal details, your intentions in New Zealand, list any other countries you have recently been to, circle what type of visa you have, as well as some quick character questions.
Get familiar with the document by taking a look at a copy of the passenger arrival card, which we linked up to in the description below. As you will see, the document is super straightforward. It's mostly easy yes or no questions. Next up, let's talk about passport control.
Woohoo! You've landed in New Zealand! Once you have exited the plane, the next process is to go through to passport control in the form of an immigration officer or by using the e-gate.
The e-gate is the fastest way to pass through New Zealand passport control. You can use the e-gate if you have an e-passport from New Zealand, Australia, UK, Ireland, US, Canada, France, Germany, the Netherlands, China, and more countries are added regularly. Otherwise, you will have to do it the old-fashioned way and see an immigration officer.
If you are passing through passport control via an immigration officer, the immigration officer will inspect your passport, visa, and your passenger arrival card. They will also ask you if you have anything to declare. You must tell them if you have any risk items in any of your luggage, basically anything that was listed on the passenger arrival card that you answered yes to.
Failing to declare an item or falsely declaring something may incur an instant $400 New Zealand fine. If you are unsure whether declaring something or not, there is no harm in declaring it anyway. We'll briefly go over what are the risk items in this video a little bit later. Don't worry, we'll get to that. But you can also check out our video and article in the description below which list in depth all those details.
On top of the questions about what you're bringing into New Zealand, the immigration officer may ask some more questions concerning your visa or your intentions in New Zealand. This is not always the case, but it's best to be prepared. Here are some questions you could be asked.
What is the purpose of your trip?
Basically say what your visa is, working holiday, visitor, etc.
Do you have a return ticket or sufficient funds for a return ticket?
Show the appropriate evidence such as a hard copy of a recent bank statement or an outward travel ticket.
Do you have sufficient funds required for your visa?
Show the appropriate evidence such as a hard copy of a recent bank statement.
Do you have any contacts in the country?
Give contact details if you know anyone in the country, but if you don't have a contact, no worries.
Where are you going to stay for the first few days?
Have the address of your first accommodation on hand.
Where was your last destination?
State your home country or the last country you visited if you're not coming straight from home.
I'm running out of small talk right here. Have you visited New Zealand before?
If you have, you'll know the answer.
Do you have any food with you?
If you do, give details to the immigration officer.
And finally, how much cash do you have with you today?
If you have more than 10,000 New Zealand dollars or the foreign equivalent, then you'll have to go through a border cash report.
So if you end up going through the process with the immigration officer, he or she may write a couple of notes on your passenger arrival card before returning it to you. You will need it for the next step of the process, which is passing through Customs and Biosecurity.
The immigration officer will also put an entry stamp into your passport and a visa stamp if applicable, for instance, the visitor visa. Then you'll be free to pass through to the baggage claim area. Next up is Customs and Biosecurity.
After you've picked up your luggage from the baggage claim area, you will need to pass through New Zealand's customs. Again, you will be asked if you have anything to declare. Go through the same procedure that we mentioned before, and remember, if you're unsure about anything, then just declare it anyway.
So finally, we get to it. What items do you need to declare when arriving in New Zealand?
You need to declare any food, any animals or animal products, including food, souvenir with animal products on, raw wool, any plants or plant products, including nuts, seeds, medicinal products, any biosecurity risk item, including animal medicines, biological cultures, organisms, soil or water, any equipment used with animals, plants or water, any items that have been used for outdoor or farming activities, any alcohol or tobacco over the duty-free allowance, any prescription medicine, more than 10,000 New Zealand dollars in cash, and more than $700 worth of goods, else than your clothes and toiletries.
Again, we list everything that you need to declare when arriving in New Zealand in a video, so we'll link that in the description.
So what happens if you have any risk items?
A quarantine officer will inspect the item. If they decide the item poses no risk, you may bring that into the country. Alternatively, the item might be taken for treatment at a private treatment company. You'll be able to collect your treated items at a later date.
If the quarantine officer decides that the item does pose a risk, then it will be confiscated and destroyed.
And what happens next at Customs and Biosecurity?
Once you have talked to a custom or quarantine officer, you will put your luggage through an X-ray. There will also be detector dogs sniffing out any undeclared item. If any risk item is found in your luggage which you did not declare, you will be given an instant $400 fine and that item will be either confiscated or sent for treatment.
Otherwise, you are good to go, so head off and start exploring New Zealand.
So that's everything you need to know about arriving at a New Zealand airport. But as promised, here are 5 airport hacks that will change the way you travel forever.
Number 1. Download or print your boarding pass, just in case there is no Wi-Fi or the connection is too slow for you to access your emails.
Number 2. Customize your suitcase or backpack for easy spotting at the baggage claim carousel.
3. Pack a New Zealand travel adapter and adapters for your stopover countries in your carry-on bag, just in case you're in need of some emergency device charging.
Number 4. Pick the left lane. Because most people are right-handed, they tend to pick the right lane for queuing. So pick the leftmost lane to pass through much quicker.
And 5. Pack your liquids, pastes and electronic devices on top of your carry-on so you can access them quickly when passing through the security baggage check.
So that's it for our guide to passing through New Zealand customs, passport control and biosecurity. If you find it useful, give this video a like, and if you do have any questions, flick us a comment below and we'll be happy to answer them for you.
And if you're keen for more New Zealand travel tips and New Zealand bucket list inspiration through our epic web series of New Zealand's biggest gap year, where we're challenging ourselves to do 365 activities in 365 days, then hit the subscribe button.
Until next time, keep exploring!